Welcome everyone to another night of adventures here on Dragon Lake Adventures. I am Ninja 3 and tonight we are talking about D&D and as you can see, doing some graphics work. This is for our up-and-coming campaign. I also have a voice guest with us, my lovely Sweet Potato and our overworked DM.
I thought you forgot that.
Oh, of course not.
So I was sitting here having a thought. You know, like the spiders that live in Buckingham Palace, right? Spiders.
Oh yeah. The noble
Yeah.
spiders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, those are probably the direct descendants of the spiders that lived there in the Victorian times and before, right? Because, I mean, spiders don't really go that far when they're indoor house spiders.
I can see that.
Yeah. So it's like a whole parallel universe of royal family, but spiders.
Now they're gonna make a show of that on Netflix. You know that, right?
I hope so.
Okay, you just wanted to plant the seed. You don't need to actually take part in writing it. You're done. Your part's done here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why would I? No, I don't want to write the spider story.
Okay, but somebody does somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit up that lady who wrote. Oh wait, she's dead. Charlotte's Web.
Yeah. Yep.
Izuko, is it your turn to get pet now? Right before we started the stream, Mordecai came up to me and decided that he needed like 10 minutes of petting. Probably because it's right about dinner time for them. And now here comes Zuko, who's decided that 10 minutes of petting is the solution to get me to feed them extra dinner. Because you've already had dinner, sir. Already had dinner.
This is being weird about its aspect ratio or whatever. I'm not sure how well the capture is going to work. It's like Discord's format changed or something. Are you seeing that?
Okay. No, but I can stop it. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I still want to see it, honestly.
Okay.
It'll help me understand what we're doing over here. So, without further digression, because you're prone to it, you want to introduce
I'm
what
prone to
you're doing
digression?
tonight? Maybe
What?
a little. Yeah.
No, I would never digress about my cat's cute tiny little ears and how they're perfect and triangle shaped. Yeah. Why would I do that? Who would need to know these things?
Everyone wants to hear about your cat's toe beans, but they also need pictures. So, that being said...
All right, Zuko, we're going to have to take some pictures here, and gotta find my camera, and an SD card, and... Oh, wait, we're talking about D&D tonight, not cats. I thought our show was D&D and cats.
That's the secret name for our show, actually.
Ah, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. True hardcore fans know the real name.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Zuko.
All right, so.
All right.
My point aside.
So yeah, you can see what I've got here. You can see the glowing.
I think I can share. Hold on. I had to click on a thing. There we go. Now people can see the Discord.
Cool. So you can see here that I've assigned a radius to some new tokens that we assigned last stream. Like, let's see here. We've got the colony, Storm Island up here, the arid wastelands, and a subtropical desert tile, which is actually Saguaro cactus.
That's going to be so much fun.
And you'll see that each one has a varying distance surrounding them. And that is going to be their influence. Not necessarily the size of, I see like these three, not the storm mountain up here, but the other three have like a physical like presence that might eventually get that large, but isn't anywhere near that right now, you know? but it's sort of like the radius of influence on how far their monsters and animals will travel to gather resources and things like that, you know? So that when I have a good idea of where territories are for encounter
And
checks.
also what cities rumors are coming out of.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Okay, Zuko, you are just being nutso, and this is my lap, and I'm trying to run a stream. So, goodbye, young child. All right. Other than that, I was thinking about it this week while I was at work, and I think I might start applying tokens onto the board for city, fort, town, tower, and we already got player locations on there. So I figured I can start adding in some more details and things onto this particular map. Actually, no, now that I'm thinking about it, and you're sitting here, and I need to get that map from the scanning and get it on here. Nice clean version of this, so it's not quite so fuzzy.
That's one of my projects to have done. Am I doing this too thick of a line?
So anyways, that's sort of what I was working on last time. Let me look at my to-do list. What color am I? Green?
Alright, I'm gonna switch over to the
Back to you, huh?
back to my drawing, yeah, whilst you're doing that.
Okay,
if anybody
well, I
out
was
there
just-
has any questions, go ahead and hit us with questions. We love talking about D&D. That's part of why we're here.
Wait, you like talking about D&D?
It's
You do?
Mhm.
Huh. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Really
No.
not very observant, huh?
No, just not very good at sarcasm.
I think you're just fine. I just,
Thank you. I think I'm pretty fine too. But
Where was I going with that? Right, I don't respond to it well. I think that's probably good enough, and then we'll start from down here. Like right there. There we go. That'll do.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Indeed. Let's just come back and get that crystal later. So what kind of tokens are you thinking about doing for your map in addition to the main ones you just added?
Just some of the other major NPCs that
as they move about?
Correct. NPC bosses specifically, because I think I'm going to need to track them a little better this season and not just have them randomly roll up.
Yep. Like they only have you don't have to ignore if they do roll up and they're not actually in that region.
Right. You just look at the map, and if they're somewhere within, I'll put a radius on them, like within the circle, then yeah, sure. I see here that a very handsome audience asked a question.
My character's goals?
Yeah. Seems to be.
The sad fact is that I know my character cannot achieve his goals. He's heard about the war and is a pacifist and wants nothing to do with it. And there's not really much he can do about that.
Pacifist, more like a buffacist.
Yeah, and that's not me hurting people. It's my party. I'm just here to guide them. I'm just a simple guide.
Yeah, that's like me saying Everett is a pacifist.
Yeah, but Everett actually actively made a magic device which he uses to regularly kill things. There's a little bit of a difference.
You have a ritual spell that you actively use to away luck energy and hurt people with.
Doesn't hurt people that much. Just puts them in situations to fail.
Deal with things like flying anvils. God.
They should... I don't know.
Don't you remember when we talked about it? It was like Looney Tunes style violence that you summon upon people.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Who's pacifist?
There was that one time where I just made it so that a bunch of people who could handle the hellhole would show up at the town.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not very pacifist.
It's just influence. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't prosecute me for the actions of others.
I'm fairly certain they can in Magical Court if they actually cared to. And there was...
I've been helpful.
Yes, this is true. You've also been very unhelpful for some people. Pacifist.
I love playing characters that don't understand their own problems.
So that's what's going on with you and your meat suit?
What's that?
Hmm?
My meat suit?
Yeah, isn't that what you drive there, 3? Meat suit.
Yeah, it is a meat bag.
Mm-hmm.
For now.
Alright, let's add some NPC bosses.
Adding new ones? Well, I got ideas.
No, add him to the map, sir. Add him to the map.
Thanks to you guys, I get to add, Ollie, or no, it wasn't Ollie, what did I name him? Was that Warforged you guys freed? What's his name?
Oh,
again?
the one with the Australian accent.
Yeah, kind of more New Zealander, but yeah.
I liked him.
Yeah.
He was great. I'm glad we freed him from his life of servitude from a justice system that didn't care that they were abusing him.
Mm-hmm. Didn't even realize it. Alright. Well, that looks pretty crystal base clustery. It's gonna end up being really small, so I think that's... What do you think?
I'm liking the detail lines that you've...
So far, I've just traced my original drawing.
Sorry, sneezing. Looks good.
But yeah, we're getting to the point where I can, like, put a box around this and do some fun things to it. Oh, they know when you're on the air. They just, like, this now is the time to misbehave.
Is your cat causing trouble, sir?
Maybe a lot. This isn't going to be right. It's got curved edges. Back. Style? Where do I pick that in this program? Outlines, tool options. Oh, that's the round. We don't need that right there. 0. That's the problem. Okay.
Images. Excellent.
Grab that individually still. Nope, of course not now with this program. I guess we'll start up here then.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
There we
whoa.
go.
Da, 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 da. I wonder if Noah is going to show up tonight. Should probably shoot him a message.
Oh, I gotta turn that down more. Oh, is it? Oh, I have to do this. I'm holding on the wrong button. Do it. There we go. Welcome, welcome anyone who has recently joined. We are just doing some campaign building and graphics for our upcoming season. We're also fielding questions from the audience. If you have any questions about our game, or want to talk about your game, or have stories about D&D in general, we're here to hear you. Oop, that was too far. I might have to draw this in. Close enough.
I don't want to buy no stock image. I want to just have a JPEG of playing cards. Why is this hard?
Because technically you can't just use other people's images. That's why I end up drawing so much. Yes, Kaji? Do you hear the sad... Oh, man. The sad prince's cry?
Yeah. I do.
Last one. Just gonna let that go. All right. Oh, there's one down here too. All right, I think that's all of the areas. Now let's make a new layer. Get rid of that layer. And what is this? This is a triagonal style crystal formation. What color should we use for that? We got a lot of choices.
Hold on. The main one.
Something's... We're getting reverb, I think. Here we go.
Light blue.
Light blue? Okay, we'll go with some light blue. Let's start with this and lighten that up a little bit. Kind of, yeah.
No, go away, clip art.
What?
Nothing. Talking to my computer.
Hmm. We'll do some opacity, maybe like 75% or something. Alright. Bam. Okay, that is not the right color. Hold on.
Way too
It still
dark,
looks
too.
pretty fire, though. I have to swap there. That's what's up. And then add the lines back. Lighter.
I think that's fine for the darkest point of the coloring. If you shade it to look more like a crystal going into the grayscale, I think it would look great.
Can you send me one of those so I can color sample it? Alright, I'm getting sent a color sample. I'm gonna back up real quick here. Back it up a little. Okay. Oh, you want to send that to... Did you send to the 3? Okay. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can color sample right off of Queen over here. Nope, I have to bring it in. Okay, 1 second.
Hi, Zuko. You came back.
Let's add. Oops.
You sounded just like Zuko, and you are Mordecai. You tricked me.
Yep. Add a file layer. Can I just grab and pull it over from somewhere? Downloads.
Ow! Okay, you apparently didn't want to come up.
Insert as new file layer. Oh, it must be tiny. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's good. Got a color palette up here to choose from now. Cool. Alright, let's go here, do a sample, and let's pick like that for the light zone. See what that looks like. Oop. Can I use that on that layer? Of course I can't. I want to go to this layer. Make these go away. Now let's try it.
Oh.
And then, hold on, this is where shit gets crazy. Think that we can always reselect this stuff. We can always go backwards. Deselect, select. Oh, get on that layer. Select. That's probably all of it, and then some. Then make that layer go away. Add a new one here, and in this layer. Pardon.
No excuse.
We will do another color select like there. Bam. Oh, nope. I didn't switch it. Hold on. Bam. And then bam. I need to grab a couple of other lines, but let me deselect. I can always back up. Eh? And then if I add the black lines, there's an even deeper core with that little darker blue right around the edge of the dark lines.
Yeah. I think it's a good base. I think it needs less shading.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the start. there were going to be many, many layers.
Looks great then.
All right. So I need to go back a couple of steps, I think. Right here, select a couple more. Any other floating spots like this? Perfect. Ooh. Okay. This layer go away, grab the old paint bucket, drop. Hmm.
Why do I get the
Patch
feeling
up
that I'm
some
going to need
places
to
like
draw
this. Oops.
these?
Hmm. That can all get hidden later in shading. I think I'm being a little bit nitpicky about some things. Like this right here.
Maybe.
Oop. What layer should that be on? This one with this color. Oops. Nah. Switch. Go to this layer. The line. All right. Well, let's find a good texture we can do too. Close this. And this. Okay, you're still looking at cards?
Maybe. What if I am?
Just can't be happy with a simple basic card?
Well, I think I found what I wanted. Now I just need to see if these are pictures I can use or not.
Oh, you mean like if they are copyright protected?
Mm-hmm.
You can do a search to do that. Let's see what this program can do. I haven't done a lot of fun stuff with it yet. Let's go down here, add a new layer behind everything. let's select everything again. So now we can put textures in. Yeah, one step too far. Probably do.
Okay, Mordecai. You can't just come and yell at me for no reason. You had dinner.
He sure can.
Right. I guess I'll just do this all by hand.
Really?
There's no major download, but they're not copyrighted, so...
Alright.
I was like, I guess I can do this 52 times. That's a thing that can happen.
Do you really need all of them?
If I'm gonna get some of them, are you telling me you wouldn't get the whole set?
Yeah. I only needed to use something like 15 of those tarot cards for my Deck of Many Things stuff, and I got them all.
Yep. So
you know, I'm just you know what? I'll just shut up.
Oh. Alright, open up in the other page. Oh, why are you saying saving as a WEBP file?
Oh, how many did you get through before you realized that?
One suit.
Good times.
I'll just delete them all. Be fine. I need JPEGs.
The tedious. Oop, here we go.
Oh, good. Saved as a JPEG.
Yes.
That's fine. That's nice.
Yes, I'm going to do varying opacity and shading based on how they're clustered around each other. I'm also gonna try to limit how much detail I put into them, because these are gonna ultimately end up being quite small.
And partly opaque. Did you see this comment from Sign I Drow?
I literally just answered that question.
Oh, well, clearly I was hyper-focused on something that I was not paying attention to. Well, thanks for coming back. S.I. Drow. Signy Drow? Sign Drow? Sign Drow?
Just butcher it in every way you possibly can imagine.
Yeah, makes me feel better about myself. So you ever do that thing where you're like watching a bunch of YouTube videos and you get up like a billion tabs on one page, and then you're like, okay, I'm just done, and then you log out, and then you forget that you did that thing?
No, I usually manage the videos I'm watching a little better. I don't like to have a bunch of stuff loaded and sitting there for as far as like media goes.
That's fair. All right,
Go
3
on.
of clubs.
Not to like anti-idea aircraft fire your thought there.
Yeah. It's a shame when people do that to other people when they're just having a basic idea or conversation. Just shoot down an idea even though you're having fun with it.
You know this thing that happens? No, I'm way too OCD to let that happen.
So anywho, it happens to me when I'm falling down like a big YouTube hole or whatever. And so I'll end up opening up a bunch of links. And generally I get through all of them, you know. So I don't really have an issue of like leaving them up. And when I'm doing that, I'm generally so focused on the YouTube hole that I don't actually, like, I'm not double tasking or anything. I'm pretty hyper focused.
Snakebite videos, huh?
Yeah. So anywho, I have a tab that I clearly went to bed and ignored when I went to bed last night. I think I have like 35 YouTube videos that I have just sitting in the queue.
Is it about trailers again?
No, it's let's see.
A man in his hunt for a reasonable price trailer.
My D&D setup for like how he set up like a D&D table, Critical Role. Apparently I started getting down into Spider-Man because clearly here's a video about Old Thor defeating Thanos.
Right.
So,
That might
yeah, I
have
guess
been a conversation recently.
Yeah. Why Wookiees always attack Trandoshians unprovoked. Jim Carrey interviews for regional manager for The Office. 5 cool things.
That last one before that, I gotta say, it's probably from all the baby theft that happened in history.
Yeah, probably. 5 cool things you can do with a router's USB port. I was gonna see if I knew them all. And then I have, I must have gotten hungry last night, clearly, because I have about 10 videos about Korean cooking. It's a new thing I wanted to try doing. I mean, I've gone to a number of Korean restaurants, so I figured I'd try my hand at making. So.
All right. I'm trying to find like every little corner in this image and get it selected if it's not just black. Do. What you gonna do?
Take over the world.
That's the plan.
I'm really hoping that Aaron's character, the Chosen One, is able to figure out and start his very own Living Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I think that it would be an interesting way for a character to gain that power. I mean, it was a reward for the last season, but his character definitely has the oomph-ta, and he has a number of NPCs that he can get working for him, and it should work. I'm hoping rather well, and just integrating it into something that he could do.
I would like to see what a player does with the mechanics after all this time writing it.
Right. And honestly, I think we need to go back and read it again. And
Yep.
while we're doing this season, obviously we'll be play testing it this time around and not allowing the players to futz with it until next time. At least a little bit. I'll give them options, but I'm not going to let them read the whole thing.
I'm going to estimate that it's going to require at least 10 more pages before we're happy with it.
I think it's probably going to be another 20.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Place your bets here, everyone.
Oh, I got a bet for you. If we exceed an additional 20 pages, you're responsible for the last edit, and if it's under last 20 pages, I'll be responsible for the edit.
Shoot. It almost makes me want to write it long.
Right?
I think you want the same thing, too.
Yeah, I know how to motivate you. I know how to motivate people. I will say my only stipulation is it can't be 10 pages or a bunch of pages of additional housing ideas.
No. That's
No,
not
it's got to be like core stuff.
Yeah, actual functioning things we haven't thought of yet, or mechanics for things that we have explained for other things that we forgot to add to things that need them.
Yes, and in fact, I found a number of things where we haven't quite finished integrating it fully yet. So I definitely think in your free time, you should start rereading it and going through it a chapter at a time.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of my goals just in my free time on my phone. I'm going to just sort of putz through it and see how far I can get.
I'm going to treat it like an audiobook.
Yeah, actually. I need to do that too. I have been bringing my laptop to work with my new position all the time, and I have a set of wireless Bluetooth headphones that can hook into my laptop and do a pretty decent job of going quite the distance. So I was thinking about doing that at work.
It's got to be...
Especially since my next couple of weeks at work are going to be a lot of repair work, cleaning work, sorting, organizing, things that I don't really need to think too hard about, so I can concentrate on the
writing.
The audio, yeah.
Looks like we got a handful of people out there, so probably a good time to remind people that we love to answer your questions and hear your stories. This is talking about D&D, not just talking about what we're doing in D&D, but what you've done or what you're doing. Or we had somebody last week ask us for a little advice on how to TPK their party that was turning against them. That was pretty fun.
I got a question for anybody who's out there and wants to answer it. It's the first party death you remember, or not party, character death you remember playing in a campaign. I guess I'll start off first. I was playing way long ago I think I was in like 6th grade, and I was over at a friend of mine, Sean Hines' house, and he was running the game, and it was me and him and my brother and just a couple other people who were in the neighborhood, and I ended up dying because I drowned to death because I didn't put any points into swim. The rest of the party, we were out on a boat, and the boat started sinking, and everybody else was like, yeah, we can swim to the shore, and I didn't think about it at all, and I jumped right into the water, and everybody started rolling swim checks, and I had no strength. So I just drowned to death, and the rest of the party got to shore, And they're like, "Where'd he go?" And the DM was just like, well, he's been dead. He's been dead for a number of rounds. And he handed me a note card that said, "You died. You cannot speak until the other players are aware of this." And so I sort of just sat there. And, yeah. That's how I lost my first character.
Okay.
He was a good.
I have
He was
to
a
take
good.
a photo because my cat's being adorable.
He was a
I'm
good
proper
human
cat
fighter.
owner. There we go.
What about you, audience? What was your first character death?
What's going on here? My phone's being wiggy. There we go. That's better. While we wait for those answers to roll in, I'm just gonna try this new layer of shading. I think I've selected much better than the previous layers I've made. Go away.
Okie dokie. I have all the cards I need, except for Jokers.
Perfect. Blam. And then which one is the dark layer? Is that this one? So I'll move this layer down a couple of pegs, like here, and bring these all in. Deselect. Ah, that looks nicer. But I did totally miss a spot right there now that I'm looking with something. So I'll go back a few steps. Right in here. One of these little guys wasn't selected. Where'd it go? This one. There we go. Alright. Let's try that again.
Man, I haven't played Gin Rummy in so long.
You thinking about that now that you're doing a bunch of card stuff there?
Yeah.
Well, we don't have anything in chat yet.
That's okay. Chat's great.
There we go. That's better. And then there's the... Oh, this line needs to go between those two. There we go.
I don't know what game J-Rock is playing down in the basement, but he's been like, I think he might be playing some type of horror game because like all I can hear is him scream like every 15-20 minutes.
That'll happen. That'll happen even if he's not playing a horror game. If he's not having a good day.
Well, not really. When he doesn't have a good day, he normally goes to the gym and...
No, I mean like just not a good day as far as surviving the game he's playing.
Oh, yes.
Cool, I like that much better. I think I'm going to get rid of these other layers that I screwed up on. Is there anything in that layer? I don't see anything changing. That must be an empty one. Okay. That's our color palette. Crystal, dark lines, black lines. All right. don't need to rename it, thank you. Just drag you down here to that layer.
Okay.
Hmm.
Show in folder. Okay. Okay. View back to a list.
That's better. Doot, doot, doot. Oh, how did that happen? How do I manage these things?
Right. So you have a bunch of cards in the assets right now. Can I put in a subfolder? Yes, I can. Excellent. Playing cards. Add a second subfolder that is tarot cards.
Okay, well that can just go away then. Okay. That's better.
Perfect.
Okay, that's what's on that layer, and that doesn't need to exist. Remove layer. Remove layer.
Does it bother you when you don't have to hold select when you're selecting up a bunch of items?
Not if I'm expecting it in the interface.
I was not expecting
You missed
it.
the last one in the bottom center left. Scroll down. All right. What's in this layer? That's the layer we want. So we're going to go to here, make a new layer. Excellent.
There we go.
And this is going to be our texture layer. Let's see what we can do about that. Filter, tools.
Why can't I not just move
Just
you?
gonna pop onto the internet and see if I can't find something that works.
Okay, fine. Just be frustrating. That's I don't care. Won't let me drag and drop them as a group, but it'll let me drag and drop them individually.
Are you trying to move them to another place?
Just a subfolder.
There's not like a move all option?
No, in fact, there isn't.
I'm not looking at your screen, so I can't be a second set of peepers. Looking
that's
at
okay.
stock images. I think.
How do I...
That might work.
No.
Oh,
Upload.
that's
There we
pretty
go.
sweet.
Choose file. Download. Install. Oh man, are these one at a time?
Everything the long way, huh?
Yes. Unfortunately. Yes.
Hmm.
How do I invert selection? Perfect. Drag and drop. Is that gonna work? It did! That's good. Why are these not in alphabetical order?
The way they've been loaded? I don't know, because it doesn't sort properly.
I
I know,
What are
right?
you doing to me, man? What are you doing?
Oh, man. I'm gonna have to come back to this texture thing and maybe think about just doing shading layers for now. In that case.
Got rid of all of my capitalization. Three. I don't normally ask for murders, but
Bro. I got you. Is it programmers again?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I want the specific programmer or just a programmer, but
Wow. See, I'm more into the specific person kind of deal. Not gonna arbitrarily kidnap somebody for their career.
what if it's not for murder?
Did I not just say kidnap? It doesn't really matter how it ends if that's where I don't want it to start.
Well, I mean, what if they're just here to fix the thing?
I still. It's a big ass guy. Oh man.
You murder somebody in specific, but you won't just kidnap a random person.
It's way more difficult. It's way more difficult.
All right, fine.
Just saying. Alright, let's...
All right, now it starts sorting out my deck.
Just want to see what that looks like when I stack some layers in there.
Hearts at the top, I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm gonna have a lot of work to do, and it's not nearly light enough.
Hearts. Hearts. Heart.
Hmm. Wait, where did the black lines end up? Krizap? You should just love when that happens. There we go. These go away. Keep this one out. Let's try going in that direction with it.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, Queen, King. Alright. Hearts are done. I guess we can do spades next. Spade. Spade. Spade.
See how that
Spades.
looks.
This is a big hole that I'm digging with these spades.
Better.
6. Hi, Mordecai. What's up? You're just
I think I'm
starving to
set
death?
up mostly for the next step of shade lines, but we've been on for a little more than an hour, so I'm gonna take a short break here. A little more food's inside of me.
Wait, we feed you?
No one feeds me. I have to go acquire food.
That's not true. I feed you every time you come to my house.
No, I have also gotten this. This was fed to me, and this is wonderful. I love my boas. Get it in my
Alright,
face
break
hole.
time.
All right, we hath returned, and one of our players has joined us. You can introduce yourself, sir.
Hi, it's Aiden. Play D&D as Ametrine.
And one of my other favorite characters.
Beazle, the Dark Bard.
The
There it
Dark
is.
Bard. Twiddly-dee. Right. So you guys were talking about some Ametrine stuff, and if I heard correctly, whilst I was eating, Ametrine's retiring as of the end of last season. So you're just finishing up the embassy status, or is it the other way around?
It's that I'm moving to Mondays, so it will not be an online character anymore.
Ah, right. So you'll be able to run it just pen and paper.
Yep.
If you chose to do so, I think
Yeah.
Aiden is going to choose to continue using the.
Right. Yeah, I will still be trying to work everything out on Roll20. I think it's just a
It's a good tool.
easier, streamlined, faster way to do D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I put a lot of work into the effects and the character on Roll20, so. But the question that I had just asked was, with the Wednesday group, it's essentially still the Dirty Half Dozen now without Ametrine. Like, are you still planning on switching over to Core and APOC, or is that going to be Stroker and Misty still?
No,
Oh, I
I'm
will go
definitely
ahead and,
retiring Misty.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure, because as far as I know, Krunk is interested in continuing to run APOC, and as long as he is interested in running APOC, I'll be interested in running Core because they're best buds.
Right, and it's interesting. I thought it was going to be the other way, where the three of us were going to be on Mondays, and I thought that Ametrine was going to get to run with APOC for a while.
That would have been interesting.
The Bash brothers, the Bash non-brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's actually going to be a really even mix of archetypes, though. I think we'll end up with some very good parties.
Yeah, I think I have somewhere around here. It's not in this. These are notes for your other campaign, the one that I run. Hold on, I got them around here somewhere. Give me a second, it's going to be noisy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting seeing Ametrine running with the A-team.
Yeah, I think Ametrine actually might enjoy it as far as things
It'll
go.
be different. It'll be really different.
Yeah, I think the way I've seen you play your character, if I was to take a guess, I would say your character would be more like wait and watch to see how this party works, and then try and join in, and then maybe shine through some interesting combat, especially with how I know your character is about to shine.
Yeah.
Is that sort of on
So-
point there?
And
Yeah, I think
Go ahead.
I was going to say the character has a bunch of surprises for the A-team that the A-team hasn't seen, that's for sure.
Right. So I have you actually on the roster as playing first. The character first. So that's not what's up.
No, so the way that Sign Up Genius did the poll, it had a line for comments, and my comment was first, as in the old internet meme of I commented first. Further down the Sign Up Genius, it then had a spot for character you plan to play as. When you look at everybody, it does not show that character you plan to play as. Everybody else put it into the comment.
Okay. So let me just correct my leisure here. So when I'm making stylized names, I don't write the wrong name down and go, damn, I
Yeah,
have to start all over.
because like the
that
once a
would
month. Go ahead.
That would definitely make for an interesting first game.
It would.
Okay.
And like the once a month game we were going to do, the character that I had filled out for that was actually Potts. because I had thought that running Potts, the lawful evil character, in a good campaign would be very interesting.
It would be.
Like, because it would work. Like, yes, the character is evil, but the lawful is the part that is beholden to. So,
Well, I mean, they wouldn't even really catch on to the evil part until well after they gotten to know you. They'd assume lawful neutral for the most part.
yeah.
So,
Like, I imagine her and Rylon would get along really well.
Yeah, I think that would go well.
that being said, the party that you're on looks like it's going to be Ametrine, Rylon, Corny, the Bard, and the Chosen One.
Yep.
Sounds like a fun group.
Yeah, which
It
is
does.
basically the majority A team taking 2 wild cards from 2 other parties.
So the Bard, which player is that?
Kurt.
It is okay.
Mhm.
Well, we had 3 bards in the last game, so
Well, there's the Dark Bard, the Bard of Lakey Snakey, which I should have clarified as I just didn't have room to write it here. Shit, I'm doing something I don't want
okay.
to.
And it's not of Lakey Snakey. It's the bard who ate Lakey Snakey.
The Bard who ate Lakey Snakey. Okay, yes, thank you for the correction. Anyway, and then yes, the Chosen One, Garrett.
Okay.
And then the other team is going to be Captain Otree, Apocalypse Corps, and does Noah have a character yet, or are we still undetermined on that?
Undetermined, but I'm hoping he'll show up today.
To talk about it while we're on the air, because that's what we're here for.
See, that group's definitely going to need a new name.
I agree.
Yeah,
'Cause,
probably.
yeah, it's not the Dirty Half Dozen anymore.
And it's certainly
When-
not the Trinity of the Sapphire, even though currently half of them are members of the Trinity.
Yep.
What 3 and I were going with when we were talking about it the other day was in person and out of person for now, till they actually figure out some names. I'll probably assign the task of picking a team name.
Yeah.
Yeah, currently they're designated as in-person and online game.
Yeah.
Wasn't Otree a part of the Trinity at one point?
No, I think that
He just
was
traveled
technically-
with them for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, one of his character that died in the first season, when it was offline before we started broadcasting, was a member of the Trinity. But
Okay.
his new character, Otree, that he made totally didn't fit in. It was right at the end of the season, so when we started the online broadcasts, he started his own party.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the Mumble Bard didn't fit in too good.
The Mumble Bard did not have to die that way, though.
I rather enjoyed PCs. I thought it was great.
Speaking of characters dying, I was thinking a couple days ago, your campaigns tend to not like gnomes, right? They tend to die. They tend to die. And I was thinking, your longest lasting gnome also ended up dying at the end. Like, they're still there.
I don't
but
know.
Beasel's definitely dead.
Beazle,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Beazle is technically dead, but I'm not sure he's the longest running gnome.
No? Oh.
Well, I mean, Tyler's character was a full season too. Oh no, never mind. You're right. Beazle made
Yeah.
it through like 3 seasons.
3 full seasons and has
So-
been alive 100 years since then.
Yep. So yeah, you're
chronologically,
absolutely
he's
right.
the longest living player character gnome in your campaign. Though most
Yeah.
of his activity is not online, but it's still a player-controlled character that's into player shenanigans.
No, you're absolutely right.
And I was just thinking about that. I was like, I thought I like broke that curse, but apparently not.
I'd say it doesn't necessarily count as Beazle being dead because, you know, you still take actions and stuff.
Right.
Alright, I gotta look for some places the shade. We've just been chatting here. I'm not actually drawing right now.
Alright, I gotta get going. It is bedtime.
Okay.
Well, have a good night, sir.
You too. Good night, everybody out there. And see you all Monday.
It is Monday, yeah. Shit, it is Monday.
What, when the first thing is supposed to go down?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh,
I mean,
we're
I'm
going on here.
aware of it, but...
Moon Spiders. That's a cool name. Moon Spiders is now following us. Welcome to the show, Moon Spiders. Seems that you've been edited. I don't know what that says. I have to jump on the browser and look. Can I show that?
I like how...
Can I see that? Or do you mean to write asterisks? Anyway, go on.
I like how there's just a token of my cat in this.
Oh, yeah. Here, I can pop back over to... Boop, boop, boop,
Well,
boop,
here, I'll make it big again.
Bing.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold on, I have
just
to
a
actually
token.
click on it.
Just a token in our recent items of my cat, Mordecai. Hello, Mordecai. I'll make that back to its original size and delete it.
Nice.
What I'm doing right now, 3, is I'm going through and quite literally sorting all of these tokens into the proper folders so that when we go and look for things like PC tokens or mobs, we'll actually have a list. And then I'm going to go through and name them. So they're
That
not
sounds
just like...
tedious.
I know, but it's going to make things so much better. Like this rename as cat.
Yep, just done.
And you get to go in the mobs. Forever
Who's a mob?
now. You shall be a mob. Name tree goes into PCs, dinosaurs.
Who's Moon Spiders, though? That's what I want to know.
Somebody
your
cool,
story?
I bet.
Yeah, I know, right? With a name like that. This is the part where I
Alright.
start doing things really slow and being all nitpicky about how stuff looks blended together on just such small scales. Oh, that looks nice, though. I might be happy with that. Alright.
So I'm not sure you ever really answered the question. I sort of countered your answer to my question earlier, or I should say, the question my Twitch account asked, which was, what's your character's goal for the next season? And
Oh.
you had said you can't really accomplish that because you're a pacifist, but I'm like, well, you're not a pacifist. We got totally sidetracked.
Okay.
If you remember,
Of course, a conscientious objector doesn't want to fight in a war, so I will have to make, from character's perspective, the decision I think is to take me away from a war, which I know meta will probably bring me to a war because
that's
of my
because
characters.
the whole map will be under war. Yeah.
Yes, because there's basically going to be nowhere he can go where he can avoid one conflict or another. And he's just going to have to do something about it. Do you know what I am saying?
I do.
Okay.
So avoid war.
Yep.
That's your character's goal, huh?
Yep. That'd be
Good luck
nice.
with that.
Yep. That's kind of my opinion. That's probably not going to happen.
No.
Let's see, what layer do I want this to be on? Maybe underneath those dark layers. What's this layer?
We have so many mobs in here that I didn't know we had in here. These are just terrible named.
Yeah, they're just file names. They're not actually any. They're just like groups of numbers and letters randomly.
We have like 3 bullets now.
I like to have variety.
They're all the same picture though.
Alright. I believe this is the layer I'm gonna put
Guest.
lines
Cool.
on. That are more gray. Kind of shadowed lines from the other crystals forming behind. See what we think about that.
Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Oh yeah, a ton of these. This is really tedious, but I'm gonna be so happy about it. And I only really gotta do it once. Because do you know who can follow naming conventions?
Hopefully most people? I don't know.
You! That's correct. You're most people.
I take exception to that statement. Or perhaps I should consider it an accusation. I'm uncertain.
Well, take it as you will, I suppose. GRA. Vash is in the GRA, isn't he? No.
What's the who now?
Let's close that and that. There we go. All the recent uploads have been filed, at least for now.
Ah, that's so nice. I'm gonna switch over to the drawing now. I started doing the layer I think I should be working on. What do you think of that shade combo for the background crystal layer? I think you can see through it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks good.
And then like
Oh man. So we're gonna put these tarot cards just on the map for people to see so they freak out about them and not know what they are.
okay, this is gonna end up being kind of fun now. I've got a track now. Just gonna switch to simple. Oh,
Why? Oh, it's because I was clicking on them and it just kept going onto board. No bueno.
Oop. Not what I wanted.
Okay. Bye. Alright, so cards. Playing cards. Ace, spades, clubs, or diamonds? There's hearts in the game, so I think I'll use hearts. Ace. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
There it is.
7, 8. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, and a Joker. Alright. Got the tokens I need. That's good. And how about we label them now? Inigo the Mighty. You've been destroyed, sir.
Inigo?
Yeah.
Not my boy.
Tu. Name the lovers. Three. Acorn blessed.
Yeah.
Forgotten Legacies. King. The Swamp King. The Hidden Queen.
We still got Nom from Moon Spider. Whatever that's about. Now, we welcome the lurks.
When do spiders ever really tell you what they...
Yeah, right? Exactly. Realistically, was expecting nothing.
10. The Viking crew of the Seahawk destroyed.
Guha. What?
What do you mean? That card has been taken.
I know. Now it's a different crew. crew of Captain Otree the Strong Arm.
At least Madeline's still out there doing her dungeon delving business.
Hmm.
She's great.
Yeah. We totally got sidetracked with that tower and did not even go do that at all.
Yeah, I know. And she made it to the end of the season, which means she gets to advance.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know else who gets to advance? Number 8. Do you remember who number 8 is?
I could look it up, but if you want to tell me.
I was just asking, remember.
I don't.
Way of the Cave.
Way of the Cave.
Read by Terry Whalen, the mighty monk of the Iron Fist, half black dragon. Followed by Bob the Dark Elf.
Mm-hmm. The Dark Elf.
8, Way of the Cave. 9, Dungeon Delver.
Just select things
7.
for a second.
7's one of my favorites. The Cotton-Eyed Critters.
Where did he come from?
Yeah, where did he come from?
And more disturbingly, where has he gone?
Where has he gone?
Alright.
The Stonehounds were defeated too, weren't they?
What's that? They were brutally defeated, and the only one left of them is their matron and her bodyguard and their new baby.
Yeah, but you guys got the card.
What's that?
You guys got the card back.
Yes, well, as in one of the parties did, yes.
Yeah. Do you know who's still out there, though? The Gamblers.
Oh yeah, no one ever caught up with them. Literally used the card on us right before we knew we were looking for it. That was some shit.
Alright, so Honey Nut Farms needs a token, which is that. The Stonehounds need a token, which is that. And the Viking crew of the Seahawks need a token, which is that with a... Yeah, okay. Oh, and the Lovers got turned in too, didn't it?
Ooh, we got another follower from Supanerd90. I think
Sup,
I know
nerds?
how that's. Yeah, I think I know how that's supposed to be. Super nerd. What's up, nerds? Indeed. Well, if you want the nerdiest answer I have, Zenith is up. Look it up.
Alright, let's see. The Lovers. I think I need to pull up some notes here. DM tabs, game day notes. Open all up in a new window and hope that it all loads correctly.
I did that wrong. Going back to what I was doing before.
You
We
would.
are doing stuff for our up-and-coming D&D campaign season, which we broadcast here on this Twitch channel. I am working on graphics for that season of D&D, and if I'll pop it up over here, our DM is doing campaign things on the map.
I am. I'm setting up tokens for where important NPCs are on the map so that I can move them around at will.
And that way they don't randomly appear places when rolled up, that they're actually somewhere.
Yes,
some point
they
in
have a
time,
location. Which is what I was hoping.
Ever-changing location.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm implementing this season is I'm going to start actually moving these NPCs around on the map in sort of a logical coordinated pattern. And in addition to that, that means the daily new or the weekly, the beginning of each game, I like giving out news. I didn't do it last season because it's a lot harder when you aren't tracking things like this, and I hadn't set it up quite yet. I was doing it in my old campaigns, so 3 might remember playing in campaigns that I had news in. Anywho, now that I have these tokens running around on the board, I have news, and then of course I'll be adding some other tokens on here for other NPCs, but I've decided to add in this one particular set first, which 3 of I have taken to calling the NPC bosses. Maybe that was a long-winded explanation and got a little distracted, but
You know, it's hard not to do that when so much is going on.
I really wish you could just turn on all these all at once, but they're all separate tokens that I have to individually.
It's terrible.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm just being hypercritical of myself.
I thought you were being hypercritical of what I'm doing right now.
No.
You know, they're cards. I should really be going through and doing these all as squares just for the amusement of it, but
D&D Tories. Oh, we got the Tories.
D&D stories.
Why
don't you tell one of my?
Ever happened to a character? I want us to tell that story. I love telling this one. Right?
Is it the one with the 10-foot pole?
It's the one that ends with the pole, but I'm gonna tell where it starts. So
I was just wondering.
I
I was just wondering what story it was.
You were right on board. You're right. It's just like you were a little off in the timeline. So before the 10-foot pole was a religious artifact. Yes, I understood that you meant stories. I had a character I started. It was a single player run campaign where I was testing the DM's random generator stuff. And I played, I think it was like a wood elf spy that was trying to like do their part of fighting against a fascist genocide of his people or something like that. And so in true fashion, I had to go hire a toady because I can't just run around by myself. So I hired this toady and we went on our first trip out of town from the beginning of the campaign, and the first thing we rolled up on the first night was a pack of wild baboons. Which we were outclassed for. We just could not handle that. And he went down. And he was like, "Go! Just run!" So I did. I ran into the fields. And the baboons slaughtered him. And it was time to test one of the things the DM had made for the campaign, which was the all of the different ways you can die once it is certain that your character or a character has died. And he rolled up suffers for 1d20 hours before succumbing to their wounds, and then rolled a 20. And we were in open fields, and my character ran the whole night with the echoing screams of his dying toady, like hollowing with the wind as he ran away, chasing him. The baboons just ripped the skin off of him and turned him into little taco bits and ate him to pieces for the whole next day.
That wasn't the story I was thinking of. That was a good one, though.
No, that's how that story starts. And then he wanders alone into that battlefield where the next part of the story starts and wrecks and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, It was fucking really brutal.
do you remember what city the Viking crew, the Seahawks, lost in? Was that Pirate Bay?
That was what is formerly Pirate Bay. What is now the Bay of what I don't know, like the
Sapphire.
Sapphire, yeah, the Bay of the Sapphires.
All right. Next of the destroyed people, the Lovers, which happened on the A Team's watch.
All right, I'm gonna switch back over to the graphics here.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Have you got any stories now that I've brutalized your mind with that?
Oh, are you talking to me or the audience?
Whoever answers first, I guess.
Well, I mean, they have a delay, so I'm always going to be able to answer first.
Okay, well then. Oh, plenty. All right. Well, we'll wait for you if you want to write a quick synopsis of one up. We're happy to hear stories.
Oh yeah, we can read it off.
Mm-hmm.
We'll even make 3 read it dramatically.
I can do voices. 1 through 5. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna switch back over to you, and you can roll.
All right.
All right. It's gonna pop up right above my. Oh, you gotta switch over to chat so they can see. There you go. It'll pop up above my head here. 1d5. 1.
Let's see. Tess, the Druid of Love, got taken down at that wedding, which happened here. Trinity the Sapphire. Tess.
Here goes. Oh, shiz.
Well, Super Nerd's taking a sec to write that out. I'm gonna go refill my water cup.
I think you have to say it Supa Nerd because there's no R. It's like very
Okay.
intently Supa
I'm
Nerd.
gonna get water. I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
Oh shit, now I'm alone. Ah, fuck, what do I do? Oh, if I switch back to my view, then people can see what I'm doing. Okay, so this is where I am on the crystals. I'll back it up a little bit here, take a couple of these layers out. Bink. And this is a photo of my original drawing, which I did on the stream last week. Ugh. This in right here. That camera? This camera? That one. Okay. And we're just basically I'm doing a digital trace and then adding layers and shading and extra things. Got this image up here for color palette. A little inspiration. And for those of you out here who are unaware of our D&D gaming history on this station, we are coming up on our 3rd season. We broadcast at least once a week for one of our games while the season is in, and we follow more than one party. This season it's going to be 2. During the same timeline, who have intersecting or shared goals. Sometimes they run into each other, sometimes they just hear about what one another have done. It's a homebrew world, if you will, that our DM has made for the purpose of telling this campaign he wrote. And as we start this season, we are getting into a module which is more applicable to almost any setting, depending on how you use it. But it is essentially a guild building module, and some of the players have been given the spell ritual by which they can begin doing it while they're learning about others who have already started doing it in the world around them. I'll answer some of the questions that you might have always wondered about D&D worlds, like where are all these bards coming from? Why isn't the town overrun by ogres if there's always an ogre problem? You know, who's training the wizards? Where are these repositories of magical knowledge? And who are the people that started them? So we're hoping people will pick it up as a world-building tool when we're done playtesting it. Hope I vamped enough for either a story to pop up or our DM to come back.
I'm here. Hi.
Oh my
Hello.
god, my timing. So good. So what do you got for us? No? Nothing? Okay. I guess I'll just go back to drawing. Maybe the music is kind of quiet. You think the music could be louder? I know you can't hear it. They can. There we go. Ooh. This is going to be one heck of a story when it comes out. I wonder what the comment cap is, if it's just going to get cut up into a bunch of comments. We're about to find out, I guess. The couple's story. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Alright, I think I'm adding... Might help to have that layer. Pardon. There we go. I like that. A lot of that detail will get absorbed away in the shading and stuff, but kind of gives that translucent look to it.
Yeah, it looks like glass right now.
Mm-hmm.
You'll
Yeah.
get the crystal part later.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do some texturing. Oh, here we go. Here's a paragraph. I'm clearing my throat before I do this. Gotta read it first, otherwise I'm gonna, like, trip all over myself.
Oh man, anytime you mention a lich, they freaking show up.
So one time, it was just me, my sister, and my GF. We all were about to go find my GF's spellbook because she lost it in the forest. And me deciding to be a good BF, I decided, or I said to her that if we don't find it, I will get her a new one. Better than hers saying, Love, don't worry. If we don't find it, we'll go to any length to find you a new one. Whether it be spend all my gold or kill a lich, I promise you, we will get a spell book. And so, I set off to all of the shops looking for a spell book, but the townsfolk said... Ooh, what a cliffhanger. I'm gonna guess that they don't have any, but, you know... Open the Deadpool now! What did the townspeople say? What do you think they said? This is, for...
That you should be finding...
You cut out there. We should be finding something or another.
Everett, your local friendly bookbinder.
Oh, yeah, look for a bookbinder. This guy. It's unlikely, but I like the answer. You're gonna lose your chits.
Hmm.
Alright. Put this down.
Alright. So I placed all the dead tokens. Now to place the living tokens places.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. Swap these, grab this, do a tang, grab that color. I like that color. Here we go. I'll do this at 5. Yeah, that should be good.
Where did he come from? Where go?
That is what I'd like to know.
Why is Minecraft randomly starting?
The computer is trying to
okay.
tell you something. You haven't crafted enough mines today.
Oh, I do feel like that's...
Mm-hmm. Kind of quiet out there, buddy.
Are you talking about me?
A little bit, and myself.
Well,
We're waiting for this
that
story
was-
to come in. It's kind of a long story, so it's going to come in segments.
that's what
That's what I'm assuming.
I'm assuming too.
Oop! I just fucked that up. I might have fucked it up.
Dungeon Delvers, gotta put you in the right spot. up here in the Sea of Radiance. And then we got Paige on the Wind, who I believe Hazel was waiting somewhere for her lover to come find her. Crossroads.
She has a huge crush on that dude.
Yeah. You might even say that she's chosen him.
What's that?
Hazel?
I missed
Hazel's
the pun.
that. Hazel's
Oh, I know.
that. Yeah. It was
know
a
it's
great
a-
pun.
I missed the pun though. That's the thing. Your voice cut out.
Oh, Hazel, the Paladin of Bakub.
Yeah.
You might even say the guy that she's into is she's chosen him.
Wow.
No, it's really reaching.
Yeah. Okay, here, let me... Shit. I just undid all that, but it wasn't the right color anyway, somehow. Maybe darker. Oh, you know what happened was... It was all super opaque, maybe? No. Maybe I did it on the wrong layer. I don't know. It turned out looking terrible, though.
A young dragon forcefully polymorphed into a young human, following the path of the ranger now. Her companions are an outsider Tanari wizard, her loyal half-dragon brother, who is a dragon shaman, and one assigned druid, and one who is one of the druid emissaries. See what other information I have on her.
Oh, I like that.
Oh no, it was Elsmerado. That was her name.
Not Hazel, it was Elsmerado.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Hazel was her friend. Alright, so Hidden Queen.
Hmm.
Well, I didn't do a description for that one. That would make sense. Alright. Alright, all of my tokens have been placed now.
Still waiting.
You're sedentary. You're moving, so I'll increase your radius to 20 feet. Honey Nut Farms is stationary. Cotton Eyed Critters is not, but you are moving in a singular direction, so this at 15-foot radius. Page on the Wind staying in the same place. Stonehounds, yes. Way of the Cave, no.
Nope, here's another chunk. So the townsfolk said that all the good books were taken by a band of thieves. Not something
Rude.
anyone guessed. And when I confronted them, they said that a bone claw sent them to do so, otherwise it would kill them. I asked them to tell where this bone claw was, and when they told me, I hunted down the evil thing, saying, "This is for all the people you exploited for your amusement." And with one final blow, the bone claw was no more. And when I killed it, the thieves gave the townsfolk their goods back, and the townsfolk gave me a 20th level spellbook. Well, it wasn't quite a lich, but yeah, that's a pretty decent reward.
I'd say so. Alright.
Yep. There we go.
Almost done.
Killing people with a rock.
What? Rock?
Cole Davis on YouTube asks, can you do a video killing people with a rock? I mean, have you ever had anyone get killed with a rock in D&D?
Killed by a rock in D&D? An avalanche? Does that count?
I don't know. Avalanche is more snow than it is rock.
Okay, maybe I should have said rock slide.
Yeah. I remember giving you guys a good thwap with that Stone Giants rock once, but no one died,
yeah.
just left immediately.
We weren't about that one.
Or no, it was a hill giant tossing a rock. But yeah, you were like, ah, you mean half giant? And ran in, and it was hill giants, not half giants.
Yeah, auditory processing sometimes.
Yep. I think that
Let's
was
see.
just paste again from Super Nerds story end.
Well, no, I dropped it in there because it got held. The reason that it didn't go through right away is because I believe you used the word bastard, and unfortunately that's filtered because of bullying on Twitch, so I had to say it was fine because you used it correctly contextually, not actually bullying anyone. Unless, I mean, is it really bullying when
you're talking
what kind
to
of monster?
like an undead
A bone
bone
claw?
claw? Yeah.
Yeah, is that really bullying? I'm not really sure that's a thing.
Considering that this said creature is a fictional monster, a tabletop game.
That's fair. Alright, can we rejoin as a player? Yes. Excellent. Now I can check my work, make sure that nothing is showing that I don't want to be showing.
Just doing it. I might just delete this entire layer after I do this. I just want to know what it looks like. I think there's room for it in my life.
Neat. Alright, that's starting to look really good. 3.
Your bosses all spread out on the map.
Yeah, they're all in their appropriate location. The ones that have been defeated, their defeat location now has their token.
With a little X on it.
With a little X on it, because that's where they're going to stay. Like, when you're defeated. I'm gonna think of it like being a ghost, and you get bound to the spot until somebody helps you. Like you can only basically stay in the area now and ask for people, the adventurers, to go out and complete this quest for you.
To get you back going again.
Right, unless of course you gave it up willingly, and then you're on whatever mission that the NPC was on. But if you defeated like the Viking crew, they're just stuck there, and the Stonehounds, they're stuck there too.
Right. Okay. Well, the Viking crew is mostly dead, but
There is I'm not
there are
going to
some
go over
survivors.
survivors. Yes.
Same with the Stonehounds. They're mostly dead, but there are survivors. I do really like that. I think there's room for this in my life now that I've done the bottom line of crystals with that extra darkness. Here, let me toggle that on and off.
Alright, so I think that looks pretty good. I almost feel like you should be adding a little more darkness to your like these crystals that are going through 2. You can't see where I'm pointing. Why am I even bothering?
Nope. You mean these ones that, like these ones here?
I think those should be
Yeah.
darker.
Yeah, I'm gonna add more to. I was testing down here how the blues mixed together when I actually added them. Pardon. I like it. I'm gonna continue on where this shade is applicable, but we got another piece of the story here.
Oh, nice.
When I came back to my GF with the spell book, turns out it was in her backpack along with my holy symbol, and at that very moment, my paladin became depressed as F, feeling used and should not exist, but thankfully my GF's PC said, "Don't worry, love, I'll still use the book you got me. Besides, it's much better much better and in better condition, and it's not about what's done, it's the thought that counts. And you went
Aw.
to such great length to get me a spell book, and it makes me feel so good inside that I went and got you this and pulled out a full set of +3 plate, shield, a +4 long sword. At that moment, I felt like my efforts were not in vain, for I had got the best reward, my GF's love." Ah,
Aww. Alright. We did pick the sappy story, and I
we
loved it.
did. Yeah. We were warned it was the couple story when you rolled it.
That's okay. I was fine with that. I enjoyed
Okay.
it.
I'm also not
talking
sad. That
about-
was good.
So it's less about romantic love and more about, I guess, the power of friendship. But I like to play a lot of characters who are support roles. I almost rarely ever take the lead role in a D&D campaign. I mean, I've been playing in your campaigns for 15 years now, 3, and my 3 most notorious characters have been a somewhat insane wizard who is all about the party, who liked fire and toads. I guess I did play a really helpful summoner for like a half a season, and
Yep.
he was a summoner.
Hmm.
And then I played let's see, my
Young
druid.
councilman before his council days.
Yep, I played a druid, which I was playing with a player who I really enjoy because she's very creative. Yeah, we'd totally love to hear another, man. All right, so
Do I
so
roll?
yeah.
Oh, I don't have Roll20 open. You've got to roll for me.
Oh yeah,
Let
we
me
can
pop
roll.
over. What is it? Is it a 1d4 this time because we've heard one of the stories? Yeah,
I'm
okay.
gonna just assume so.
Yep.
3.
Oh,
Alright, so we'll give him a minute to write that up, but I'll keep going with my support character business.
Mhm.
So yeah, I played my druid, and the person I was playing with, I had been her DM before, and she was frustrating if... Oh, tragic story. She's frustrating if you don't allow her to go on her tangents. which
Yeah,
was fine. But so I decided early on in that game, instead of trying to like force her onto the main storyline, I would just force her character to be the main storyline,
Yep.
no matter what she wanted to do. And honestly, it was a lot of fun. We did everything from finding flying whales to summoning up packs of werewolves to traveling across the continent and restoring the gods.
You fought a true Leviathan.
We did.
You helped one of your friends find their real family and get reconnected with them. Turns out they're
Yep.
silver dragons.
Yep, we did.
You helped somebody else find their true family. Turns out it was the gods of chaos.
Yep, I did.
The character who became the main character in this quest also traveled to the moon to meet her gods in person.
She did.
Literally
Admittedly, one
walked
of the
through the
gods.
Sea of Tranquility and rolled up poor weather, which in space is radiation storms.
Which, admittedly, one of her gods lived there, so it makes sense for her to travel there.
Truth.
But yeah, my most recent character in 3's campaign has been a illusionist war wizard who just has enough abjuration and conjuration to really be an effective war wizard. And man, I totally forgot where I was starting with this. Support characters. Never played. I almost never play like a frontline character, like the main hero of a story or anything. I play like a lot of support characters. It's actually really rewarding for me because I get to see my friends have fun and stuff. But yeah, totally. Do you remember what my point was originally? I was trying to get at.
I thought you were trying to tell a story and you were setting up which character you were going to tell a story about. But,
Paladin. Oh! Thank you. So, this newest character, Everett, he's the war wizard. And one of the things that I started doing in this campaign was a little bit of enchanting for the party so that they... Because getting good magic items that fit your character is tough, especially when you randomly roll them, and otherwise you have to go and get them custom crafted. So it's always best to have a player character who is willing to take on that role, and it tends to be me in a lot of campaigns because I find it really easy. But the thing is I went through and I made like 1 to 2, like they weren't like that epic magic items. They were like +3, +4 magic items, but I spent like 2, almost 3 character levels on making these magic items. Course of like, what do you say, 3, like 10 games or something?
the ones for the current party?
Yeah. It was about 10 games before I was able to equip almost everybody with that first wave of items.
For you actually equipped them almost all at once, but it took you a long time to gather everything you needed for it.
Right, and so I ended up doing all this crafting and making all these items and ended up giving out all these items to people. And, great fun, and it was really useful. And about, I'd say, 10, 15 games later, the party got together and got me a ring of force protection, which just blew my mind because it's like one of the most expensive rings out there. So my wizard, who can get taken down really easily, has a ring of force protection, which is fantastic when you're doing wizard duels and things and you don't actually have any offensive magic.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody loves Magic Missile.
Alright, I gotta figure out how to do this.
Yep, that was another rambling ass story with no particular point. Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
So just an update. Our nerdy friend says that this next story is going to involve his girlfriend, his best friend, or her. I'm not sure. What is gender?
Oh, his
There.
girlfriend, his best
Involves
friend.
my girlfriend,
and
my
her
best
best
friend,
friend.
and my girlfriend's best friend.
Alright, so we've got context.
Okay. Which one of the beggars is it now? Back to you, huh, Mordecai? It's been you all night. What's up? Hey, three. I got a story that I would love for you to tell.
Oh, fun. Here we go.
Remember that time when you're... Oh, never mind. We got one here to read.
Okay. Whew! Saved by the bell. Okay, so we had a stealth mission to stop the rogue's father from execution, and while we were fighting, the rogue tried to save his father, but he failed his sneak attack, and as the executioner's sword came down, the rogue could do nothing but watch as the only family member who loved him died at the hand of a fat orc with a great sword, and was so traumatized that he remained paralyzed for a matter of days that he nearly starved to death. And when it was time for him to attack at the next combat encounter, ... Now we're on a cliffhanger again.
So, remember that time that I might have transformed people into Velociraptors somewhat permanently?
It was not actually permanently, but could have been if it wasn't for the intervention of the more morally inclined members of your party. But it did help with the hunting because they were actually helpful instead of a bunch of random townsfolk who were just upset with the situation, who would have just gotten in the way of the professionals taking care of it. Oh, I think we gotta... got one-shotted by the same orc that killed his father and said, or in his head, so, wait. I think I'm, and got one-shotted by the same orc that killed his father and said in his head, so Dad looks like we will be together again, but not for long. Sadly, you won't even get to see me in heaven, but in hell it's where I belong. I love you, Dad, and I always will. Ugh. Harsh. You don't always get to be a hero.
No, you don't always get to.
And after that day, we still remember the face he made as his dad was killed. Alright.
Actually, the dad comment made. I was thinking of character archetypes that I might enjoy playing next.
Yeah.
But so you remember your adventurer character,
Anthony?
Anthony? Yes.
I'm gonna be an adventurer.
Right. But
All
what
I
was-
need
what
is a
was-
great sword and hope.
But you remember Anthony's premise? Like that was it. It was just
He
he needed
was
a great sword and hope, and
completely
he like
undiscourageable.
yep, and he was like this like 15-year-old kid who just decided one day to go adventuring, right?
Yep. And his dad wanted him to be a farmer because his father was an adventurer and they had a strained relationship as a result of it, so he didn't want his son to become an adventurer.
So I haven't picked a name yet, but I want to play Anthony's neighbor, who is
Oh.
a middle-aged person who sees Anthony's undenied courage
Yeah,
and
his
decides that
indiscouragableness.
he too, as a midlife crisis, decides to go out and become an adventurer. At
Oh my
like
god, yes. The midlife crisis adventurer who's been a commoner his whole life.
right, and so I want to start game with like 2 levels of commoner.
Yes. What are you? Well, I'm a cobbler, sir. I make alright shoes.
Right.
You think that qualifies you to be an adventurer? No, but I just can't live that life anymore, man.
Right. I don't want the tragic backstory or nothing. I just want to be the midlife crisis guy.
Yup. It wasn't as good as the other one, but it was better as the DM described it. Yeah, it's always hard to give people or do justice to other people's descriptions when you're retelling things.
And let alone typing it out in the spur of the moment.
Right. Alright,
Oh,
I like
Mordecai, why are you
I
so
like where-
mad?
Here, I'm gonna deselect this, everything. So I did the editing that you suggested on the lines, and I added another extra blur of darkness to the area on those back lines.
Yeah, I see that. It does look better.
It's definitely getting there. Definitely getting there. And then we'll be doing different... And this is going to be the fun part because it's basically going to be paint by numbers. I'm going to count how many layers of crystal they are and darken the opacity in those sections based on how many layers of crystal are there. And that'll
My
be
numbers
fun.
is fun.
Yeah.
Mordecai, you so mad.
But then, after all that crystal layer opacity is done, I can hand draw some shading in, and I will hopefully by then have found a little texture that I'm happy with to lace into it, and then I might be done. But I'm not doing all that tonight.
No, definitely not. We got like 12 minutes left on, I think, the scheduled broadcast.
Yep. We can do story time. I think I can pause here. I don't want to burn myself out on what I'm doing here. I want to work on it a little more tonight, but it's definitely break time for drawing.
It's fair. Can you hear him?
In the background, I heard something. Was that one of your cats?
Yeah, he's really mad. He's on my lap. Bit of matted fur on his butt, and I'm getting it out, and he's not happy about it.
Yeah. All right.
Story
Okay.
time, huh?
Yeah. You're gonna ask me for one of my stories, I guess. I think you've told some stories.
Tell one of the Mars stories.
The Mara stories? Oh goodness. I love this character so much, and it's a shame, but yeah, I'm not going to go into why I don't play her anymore. I'm going to go into what I love about this character and the things I got away with. This character had a standing AC of 52. If she chose you as the dodge opponent, it was then like a 56. Couldn't be caught flat-footed. Killed a guy with a muffin once because she could use anything literally anything as a deadly weapon. And, you know, if you add enough sneak attack to something. She was a runaway princess rogue bard who had a sentient violin, so when she started combat, she would start the riff on the violin, let it go, it would start playing itself, and then she would start dancing around the enemy to add another bard bonus. Wielded two same length katanas in Daiashu style. Was constantly in multiple layers of disguise, both physical and magical. And for reasons that, now that I talk out loud about her, are obvious, she was elected unanimously by her party to be the commander of the party when it came time for them to choose one. And she was like, ah, crap, I really was hoping it wouldn't be me, considering she ran away from responsibility in the first place. Didn't want to lead. At one point in time, I stopped carrying hand crossbows and just started carrying extra quivers of bolts because it was wasted weight. Because throwing them was better than using the hand crossbow. In place of ninja stars, she carried packs of metal tarot cards that were edged. Am I missing anything else about her?
No, it's a pretty good summation. There's plenty more to her, but...
Yeah, and for like visual reference, I guess I used two different archetypes for her main look, even though she was constantly in disguise. Kind of based her musical stylings off of Lindsey Sterling, and I based her combat stylings off of Black Rock Shooter. How much time did that eat up? Like 8 minutes?
Yeah, a couple.
What's fun is I can gracelessly segue, or no, it's not graceless, this is a true segue into having you tell about Mara's lover.
Let's see. Yeah. Czar. He was fun. I was playing this cleric of a god of war, so I played a very traditional style, like war cleric, except for the god's chosen weapons was a katana and a wakizashi, so I ended up, of course, using them. And I'd played in this campaign a number of times before, and I had saw how powerful magic items were. I should say I had played with this DM a number of times before, and so I had saw how powerful magic items were. And so I made the thought that very early in the game that I didn't want to really get some like too awesome magical swords or anything. Like I would use magic and everything, but I had decided that I would be 100% not reliant on it in any way except for like spells or key or whatever. And so I played this campaign as a cleric of war whose like real major source of magic was always the magic that came from my gods. Did real faithful kind of stuff, which was a lot of fun. Magic vestments, magic weapons, buff the party, run into combat, chase around our half dragon into combat. That was a lot of fun. And then 3 ended up joining the campaign after it had already been started, and he had started playing Mar, and I don't know why it got into my head. I was just like, I think it's the competence, actually, now that I'm talking about it. I bet you it was the competence, because my character was playing a super competent style play, and 3 was playing a very competent style play, and so
Mhm.
my character went about trying to like slowly seduce Mara with competence,
Mhm.
which was fun.
Yep.
And
oh,
we
oh, that dude's got more than 2 brain cells to rub together. I'm interested.
right, right, exactly. And so, like over the course of a season of that campaign, the 2 characters ended up starting dating over the course of a bunch of battles and whatnot. And then the whole second season was them about like being all cutes and coupley and stuff, despite everything else going on in the storyline. And then at the end of the second season, my character had proposed, and then we were supposed to do the whole wedding thing at the end of the third season, but the campaign fell apart because of personal issues, and that's how some D&D games go. So unfortunately, that storyline sort of got left hanging on the hook, and my character was definitely like out of sorts about it. Honestly, pissed.
Yeah.
Probably be the right word.
Right. I wasn't entirely happy either.
Anyways, I think we are getting close enough to 11 o'clock that we might as well find our person and just call it after that story.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Thank you very much for our viewers who joined us throughout the show and jumping in and out. I really enjoyed doing storyline and hearing stories and reading them off of the stream. So obviously not a unique experience for this stream, but I definitely enjoyed it today.
Yep. Alright, I'm gonna grab somebody up to raid real quick then.
What do we got?
Let's see what we got here. Easy. It's probably running to the end of their night, but you want to raid Live and Let's Die in their last 5 minutes?
Yeah, why not? That sounds good.
Yeah, they're totally playing tabletop games. Alright, everybody, have a great night. Thank you for joining us. We will be hopefully doing another broadcast on Saturday night, which is more or less likely going to be D&D. Take care, everyone, and safe travels.